The saga continues, man. The never-ending saga. Pacquiao Mayweather. Now, I was asked today to give my views and opinions on this saga. I pretty much dropped myself out of the whole discussion a long time ago because it's pretty boring and tiring. And it's, pretty much only the hardcore, fanatical fans of those two fighters who even have any interest in carrying on this discussion about Mayweather Pacquiao, who's ducking who, what's going on. I don't really care no more. I don't even really care if the fight happens. And even if the fight did happen, for all we know, it'd be a shit fight. So I really don't care about Pacquiao Mayweather, but one of my subscribers, my long-term subscribers, we go back a long way. He asked me to give my opinion, so this is just my opinion on the situation, on the saga. Like I said, it's just an opinion. What I'm saying is not fact. It's just the way I see it from what I've seen. Now, when Manny Pacquiao was beating up guys at 147 like Miguel Cotto and Joshua Clottey, and moving up to beat up Antonio Margarito and, Oscar De La Hoya and knock out Ricky Hatton at 147 as well. When he was doing all that kind of stuff, or was it 140 you fought Hatton? I can't even remember now. I swear it was 147. Anyway, when he was doing all that stuff and, beating everyone up and what have you, I think at that time, Mayweather saw Pacquiao as a genuine threat. Mayweather's a confident guy, but I don't believe he's as confident as he makes out. And I believe that during that time, he saw Pacquiao as a genuine threat. And he, in his own mind, I personally believe that he was thinking that Pacquiao had a chance of beating him. Don't get it twisted. I think he going into that fight, he would have expected to come out as the victor. But I think he did respect Pacquiao's ability, considering the fact Pacquiao was demolishing all these opponents. And he kind of, he was a bit leery about fighting him at that particular time. Maybe he believed all the stuff people were saying about Pacquiao, And so it was basically Mayweather who was stalling the fight. He put this whole take the test business in the way. And, that was the stumbling block for the fight. Pacquiao and his promoter, Bob Arum, were trying to make the fight back then. They were really pushing hard to try and make the fight. The only contentious issue was the whole take the test business. Now, that's another reason why I believe Floyd wasn't as confident as he makes out, because if he truly believed that he could beat Pacquiao, he wouldn't really care about the test. I mean, even his uncle Roger came out and said, drugs or no drugs, steroids or no steroids, my nephew will beat Pacquiao easy. So if they're that confident, then why are they so worried about the test? They're trying to say that it's a moral point of view and all this kind of stuff. They're being moral and they're doing a service to boxing and all this kind of stuff. Well, maybe in a roundabout way they are, because I'm sure there is a lot of drugs in boxing and there should be more testing done. But I don't think that was the main motivation behind it. I think the main motivation behind it was something Floyd Mayweather pretty much let slip in one of his interviews. He said, if a fighter is good enough to beat me, I want to know that he beat me fair and square. Right? Which to me shows that at the time, he was entertaining the idea that possibly Pacquiao could beat him. Right? That's why he was so insistent on this test, because he wanted to make sure that he was beaten fair and square. Now, there's people that have come to me and told me that the whole issue with the test is some type of conspiracy where the Mayweather team has got links, to the company which does this so-called independent drug testing. And it was a conspiracy where Mayweather had planned to have Pacquiao's blood basically tainted should Pacquiao beat him. So let's say, Mayweather fought Pacquiao back then and Pacquiao won. Mayweather having links to this particular company would be able to have, certain substances planted in Pacquiao's blood to then catch him, for substance abuse or whatever, and, you get the rest. Me personally, I have not seen enough evidence to make me believe something like that. I'm not saying it's impossible. I'm not saying it can never be true. But I personally have not seen any evidence that will convince me that there was such a conspiracy going on. I just think it was a thing where literally Mayweather did believe that this could possibly be the toughest fight of his career. And, he could possibly lose. So he wanted to make sure the guy was not on drugs, but also wanted to make sure that the guy was uncomfortable. I think it was a mixture of his own insecurity combined with, wanting it to be a fair fight, combined with him wanting to try and upset Pacquiao psychologically before the fight. I think it was a combination of things, but the bottom line is I think Mayweather was kind of insecure and wasn't quite as confident as he made out of beating Pacquiao back then. And I feel that is the case even more so because since that time, obviously, as we all know, Pacquiao went on to have two pretty unimpressive fights against Shane Mosley and the third fight with Juan Manuel Marquez, in which Pacquiao looked terrible. And now all of a sudden, Mayweather wants to come out and start, calling Pacquiao out on Twitter, really pushing hard and trying to make this fight happen all of a sudden. Why? It took a bad performance from Pacquiao for Mayweather to all of a sudden seem so determined to get the fight on. I think he gained a lot more confidence from seeing Pacquiao's last two fights, especially the Marquez fight, where Pacquiao looked really bad. And, was kind of exposed. So Mayweather's gained confidence from that. And now it seems like Bob Arum and Pacquiao are the ones who are trying to, avoid the fight, or at least they're the ones who are not so confident in their ability to win the fight anymore. I truly believe that Bob Arum does not believe that Manny Pacquiao can beat Floyd Mayweather. Maybe he did in the past. I don't know. Maybe he did, maybe he didn't. But now for sure, he does not believe that Pacquiao can beat Mayweather, which is why he's trying to push back the date of this fight into late May, where he can build this, arena and what have you, because he's thinking in his head, if he's going to lose his number one, money maker in his stable, then he wants to make the most amount of money from him, in this event where he could possibly lose, right? He wants to double his money. If he's going to risk, losing his cash cow, right, or losing the markability or earning power of his cash cow, he wants to try and make as much money from him as he can before he loses. You understand? And that would involve doing this whole thing with an outdoor arena and doubling the seating capacity and getting all this extra money, right? That's what Arum's thinking about. As for Pacquiao, I'm not sure. I'm sure Pacquiao is not as confident now after the Marquez and Mosley fight as he was before then. Maybe Pacquiao wants a fight in between. Maybe he wants a confidence-building fight before he fights Mayweather. Me personally, I think Pacquiao is a warrior. I think he does have heart. I think he would fight Mayweather. I don't think he's scared. I don't think, either of them are cowards. Do you understand? I think Mayweather's very egotistical. I don't think he's afraid of taking punches, or getting in there and trading punches with people. Going in there with big punches and what have you. He's not afraid of sharing the ring with anyone, but he's a vain person who doesn't want to lose his unbeaten record. Do you understand? He is a very vain, egotistical person, right? And I believe that's why, the fight, that's part of the reason why the fight is stalled up until the Marquez fight. But now it's Pacquiao and Arum who don't seem to want to get involved in this fight anytime soon. And certainly Arum wants to make the most amount of money he can from it if it does go ahead, right? Because he thinks Pacquiao's going to lose. And like I said, Pacquiao, I don't know whether he's afraid of Mayweather now. I think he's definitely, his confidence has definitely taken a blow. The whole team's confidence has taken a blow. Roach's confidence has taken a blow, right? Khan's confidence has taken, that whole camp right now is on a low. And maybe Pacquiao's thinking he needs, like I said, a confidence-building fight before he steps in the ring with Mayweather. Maybe after Mayweather comes out of prison. You know, who knows? So, yeah, that's my take on it. I'm sure people are going to bitch and complain and disagree and say all kinds of crazy shit and thumbs down the video, because whenever you mention Pacquiao or Mayweather, it brings all the fucking stupid, dumb, racist, you know, crazy, ignorant, nut hugger fans of both fighters out, and they want to come and chat shit. So please, 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 this time, could we not have that going on in this video? Please. Because you will just be blocked and deleted. So just fucking please allow it, man. Leave it alone this time. Yeah. Anyway, that's my 2 cents. This is Hatman. I'm out.